In the twilight of Japan's feudal era, a boy named Miyamoto Musashi was born into a world of chaos and bloodshed. Raised by his uncle after his father abandoned him, Musashi learned the way of the sword from a young age. At just 13, Musashi fought his first duel, defeating a trained samurai and setting the course for his legendary future. He became a ronin, a masterless samurai, wandering Japan in search of stronger opponents and greater challenges. Musashi's reputation grew as he triumphed in duel after duel, using both cunning and unparalleled swordsmanship. But Musashi's mind was as sharp as his blade. He studied tactics, philosophy, and the nature of life and death. In a time when most samurai adhered to strict codes, Musashi developed his own style, known as Nieten-ichi-rai. This unique technique involved fighting with two swords at once, a radical departure from traditional single sword combat. Musashi wandered from village to village, challenging the most skilled samurai and never losing a single fight. At the age of 30, Musashi faced his greatest rival, Sasaki Kojirō, on the island of Ganryū. Kojirō was famed for his skill and speed, wielding a long sword he called the drying pole. Musashi arrived late, intentionally delaying the duel to unsettle Kojirō's nerves. As the duel began, Musashi used the blinding light of the rising sun to his advantage, striking swiftly. With a single, well-placed blow, Musashi defeated Kojirō, securing his place in legend. Despite his fame, Musashi never sought power or wealth. Instead, pursuing the perfection of his art, he began to focus on painting, calligraphy, and sculpture, finding harmony between the arts and the sword. In his later years, Musashi wrote the Book of Five Rings, a philosophical guide to strategy and martial arts. The book emphasized the importance of adaptability, patience, and understanding one's opponents. Musashi believed that the true warrior must master both the sword and the mind, as they are inseparable. He taught that in combat, as in life, victory comes not from brute force, but from clarity of thought and action. Musashi's later life was spent in quiet contemplation, his days of battle behind him. Though he retired from dueling, Musashi continued to train his mind and body, seeking perfection until the very end. His legacy lived on not only through his victories, but through his teachings and philosophies. Even today, warriors and leaders study Musashi's strategies, applying his wisdom to modern life. Musashi's name became synonymous with invincibility, discipline, and the path of the samurai. He remains an icon of Japanese culture, his life inspiring countless books, films, and stories. But beyond the legend, Musashi was a man who faced deep inner battles, constantly questioning his purpose. He sought not just to be the best warrior, but to understand the meaning of conflict and peace. Musashi's journey was one of self-discovery, where each battle revealed another layer of HRs, contemplating the balance between strength and compassion. His quest for mastery was no longer just about the sword, but about understanding the universe itself. In his solitude, Musashi found clarity, realizing that true strength comes from inner peace. Though he was unmatched with a blade, Musashi's true wisdom lay in his ability to avoid unnecessary conflict. Musashi often taught that a warrior's first duty was to protect, not destroy. He believed that the best battle is the one never fought, where understanding replaces violence. As he aged, Musashi's fame continued to spread. Yet he remained humble and focused on his personal growth. He took on fewer students, carefully selecting those who sought not just power, but wisdom. One of his final lessons was that the way of the sword was also the way of the heart. Musashi lived simply, rejecting the luxuries of wealth and status, content with his art and philosophy. In his final years, he withdrew even further from society, devoting his time to writing and reflection. Musashi knew his time was coming to an end, and he prepared himself for death with the same calm as for battle. He passed away in his sleep at the age of 62, having lived a life few could ever rival. But Musashi's death was not the end. His spirit lived on through his teachings and his enduring legend. The Book of Five Rings became a timeless text, studied by martial artists, strategists, and scholars around the world. His life, both as a warrior and as a thinker, continues to inspire those seeking mastery over themselves. In Japan, Musashi is more than just a historical figure. He is a symbol of perseverance, discipline, and wisdom. His story has been retold countless times, each generation finding new lessons in his life. From novels to films, Musashi's tale of relentless pursuit of perfection continues to captivate audiences. But Musashi's true legacy lies not in his victories, but in his philosophy of life and combat. He showed the world that the way of the sword is also the way of the mind and soul. Even in a world filled with conflict, Musashi believed in the power of inner peace and understanding. His life stands as a testament to the idea that true mastery is never about defeating others, but conquering oneself. Musashi's teachings continue to be a guide for anyone who seeks balance between strength and wisdom. His sword may have rusted, but his influence cuts deeper than any blade. Musashi taught that a warrior's greatest enemy is often their own fear and doubt. By mastering the mind, Musashi believed one could overcome any external challenge. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, Musashi never wavered, finding strength in his principles. And so, the legend of Miyamoto Musashi endures, a reminder that the path of the warrior is a journey of the soul.